Hello, welcome to Guidance Education channel. We are continuing chapter 1 Electric Charge and Fields under class 12 Physics. Let us see the topic that is discussed under this video. The topic discussed is force between multiple charges. Derivation of expression for this force. This topic will be of great use to you, so watch the video completely without skipping. And if you think it is useful, do like the video, share the video with your friends who may also be benefited, and also do leave your comments in the comment box below. If you have not yet subscribed my channel, do subscribe it now and also press the bell button so that you get intimated as soon as videos are posted. Thank you very much. Force between multiple charges. Using Coulomb's law, we can calculate the force between two static electric charges. But what if there are more than two charges? When we consider multiple charges, Coulomb's law is not enough to explain the force between them. Suppose three like charges are placed in free space, that is, in vacuum. We will see the force on one of the charges due to the other two charges, how it is calculated. This is one charge. Let us mark it as Q1. This is yet another charge and let us mark it as Q2, kept at a distance marked as vector R12. This is a third charge marked as Q3, kept at a distance from Q1 marked as position vector R13. We have considered three charges in space. Now let us consider the force experienced by Q1 due to Q2 and Q3. Let F1 be the force experienced by Q1. This will be equal to the force experienced by 1 due to 2 plus force experienced by 1 due to 3. We know force is a vector quantity, so we have to find the vector sum of these two forces, namely F12 and F13. You have already learned in your 11th standard class that mechanical forces acting at a point can be added up using parallelogram law of vector addition. Electrostatic forces also can be added up by using the same principle. Let us just recall what the law states. The law states that when two forces act on a point and can be represented in magnitude and direction by the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, then the resultant of those two forces, that is their sum, can be represented by the diagonal of that parallelogram drawn through that point. So to get the vector sum of these two forces F12 and F13, let us complete the parallelogram. Q3 is exerting a force on Q1 and this is the direction of that force. This is the direction of the force exerted by Q2 on Q1. F12 is along R12 and F13 is along R13. Now let us do the diagonal. This is the diagonal of the parallelogram and it gives the direction and magnitude of the resultant force of F12 and F13. We have already used the symbol F1 for the resultant force. We will extend the diagram and represent the direction of F12 and F13. This is the direction of F13. This is the direction of F12. Let us complete the parallelogram. This is the diagonal which is F1, which is the resultant. Even in the beginning, I have said that we are considering three like charges. From the diagram, you can understand the direction of the resultant force F1 suggests repulsion. We know like charges repel. I hope I have made this diagram quite clear. It is not at all difficult. It is an easy portion provided you proceed in a systematic way. In case you find it difficult, let me clarify. The force exerted by Q3 on Q1 is along this direction, and the force exerted by Q2 on Q1 is along this direction, and this is the direction of F1, the resultant. Q1 tends to be pushed along this direction. In a similar way, we can explain the force experienced by Q2 due to Q1 and Q3, or force experienced by Q3 due to Q1 and Q2. We can also explain force exerted by unlike charges in a similar way. The only thing is we have to consider the direction of the force. In that case, it will be attraction. Having understood all these details, let us proceed to derive the expression of force between multiple charges. We have already noted that F1 is equal to F12 plus F13. Now we will represent both the forces in their vector forms. F12 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R12 square into R12 cap plus vector form of F13. That is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q3 by R13 raised to 2 into R13 cap. If you have any doubt regarding the representation of the vector form of Coulomb's law, click the I button in order to watch my video on vector form of Coulomb's law. If there are n number of charges, then we will have to consider the force exerted by all the charges. Then F1 will be equal to F12 plus F13 plus F14 plus a large number. We will consider there are n number of forces plus F1n. So F1, the force experienced by Q1, will be the vector sum of all the forces exerted by all these n number of charges. In this equation above, we have represented F12 and F13 in its vector form. Let us consider this equation once again. We have considered F12 and F13. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 is common in both these two cases. So when we consider n number of charges, there also 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 will be common for all the n number of charges. So we can take these two quantities outside, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1, and then add up the remaining portion of the equations pertaining to all the n number of charges, that is Q2 by R12 into R12 cap plus Q3 by R13 into R13 cap plus the force exerted by the nth charge. It can be simplified and written as F1 is equal to Q1 by 4 pi epsilon naught sigma. This is the symbol for adding up. What remains? Q2 by R12 raised to 2 into R12 cap. Then Q3 by R13 raised to 2 into R13 cap up to Qn, that is nth charge. All these charges are represented as Qi. I is from 2 to n. It is represented in this manner by R1I raised to 2 into R1I cap. I hope it is quite clear. In case you find it difficult, let me explain. Qi means from Q2 to Qn. R1I means R12, R13, R1n, etc. What is R12? Distance of 1 to 2. Now R1I cap, which is the unit vector for each position vector. We are considering the force on Q1 due to all the other charges up to nth charge. So the limit is from 2 to n. This is the expression for force due to multiple charges. Okay. So we have derived an expression for force between multiple charges in a very simple way. Now coming back to the diagram. Force on Q3 due to Q1 and Q2, and similarly force on Q2 by Q1 and Q3 can also be determined in this manner. You know, the formula can also be written as Q1 by 4 pi epsilon naught sigma Qi by R1I raised to 3 into vector R1I, which is direction of the resultant force. I hope you are benefited by this video. We will meet in the next video with the next topic. Thank you very much.